Hello everybody, welcome to our Vampires Bloodlord Rising Survival Guide. That's a really long title. Anyway, so today we're talking about how to assign vampires to various crafting stations, workstations, jobs, basically. Because you know what? You don't want to do all this on your own. You want them to kind of automate this process for you because you're a busy vampire lord. You got things to do, you know? So let's talk about it. Obviously, the first step is to get yourself some vampires. And if you don't know how to do that, there'll be a video very shortly on that whole process. But gotta get yourself some vampires, obviously. And then we're gonna go to the management tab, which we can just go right here. There we go. And we can see our vampires that we have available, as well as on the right side here, the various jobs and other kind of things that we can, you know, assign to them. So first of all, how does this all work? So if we're looking at just like the kingdom tab, we have 3 jobs here for build, clear, and feed. And to build, obviously, this just means that when we bring a vampire and we assign them to this job, they're going to go build any kind of blueprints that you have built out on, you know, in your stronghold, and they'll start they'll take the resources that are available in the various chests and use that to build those buildings so that you don't have to. You can just like set something up, and then this builder will go build that while you're off, you know, doing whatever you're doing. Clear, this job, basically if there is a bunch of ruins around, just have, you know, assign someone here and they're going to clear out those ruins, get the resources from that and put it in the chest. And then obviously our last job here is feed, the core, which basically when you assign a kindred, can you tell I play Vampire the Masquerade here? When you assign a vampire to this job, they are going to go out and they're like going to hunt and get blood basically to then feed the core. And I always recommend having one of your first vampires take care of this, just because feeding the core it takes a lot of time, because obviously everybody here is feeding from it, so it goes down pretty, I don't want to say quickly, but it goes down, right? Especially the more vampires that you have at your stronghold. So just having somebody just take care of that initially is, in my opinion, a very strong way to kind of give yourself some time to go focus on some other things. So so that's like what these jobs are. But how do we actually assign people? So let's say our friend Emmanuel was not assigned to this task. I'm just going to pull him off here. So nobody is feeding the core now. But if I wanted to assign him to that, I would just take his little portrait right here, drag it over to that slot, and now he is in charge of feeding the core. So that's kind of like your kingdom. But when it comes to, you know, your stations, the various sort of workstations that you have, I have just the one, which is the crafting station. It works very similar. You're just going to take whoever, you know, whatever portrait, whatever vampire you want to work there, grab their portrait, and then just slot that in right there, and they are going to start working at that crafting station. Now, obviously, they can't really make anything if you don't have any kind of tasks set up. So if you wanted, let's say, some wood planks, you know, we'll just go ahead and have that, and he's going to go take the wood, and he's going to make some wood planks out of it. And there's obviously, you know, a number of things that you can have them making, but that's going to be his task. Oh, there's our friend there anyway. So they are busy at work now. Now, the other thing to kind of keep in mind is specialties, which you can find out through rumors. And let's see there. If we got, I don't know if we can. Yeah, I don't really see a thing on the thing. But if you collect your rumors, you know, you go to your journal and you can see like your, you know, all the rumors that you have gathered so far. You can see like, you know, for Felix, for example, we know that he has a strong arm. And that's something to keep in mind when you want to assign your vampires, because you know, he might be good in a position like clearing, for example, where they have to use some physical activity to actually destroy the ruins. Or you might find somebody who's like really good at crafting things, or, you know, stuff like that. So keep an eye out for those sort of specialties when you are out getting, you know, rumors and you're going to go change a villager into a vampire, because they're going to be better at certain jobs. And you just assign them to whatever job they tend to have a specialty for, and, you know, you're good there. They'll basically kind of boost that productivity for you. And speaking of boosted productivity, you're going to want to keep an eye on their loyalty. Now, loyalty, we can see right here, is when you have certain needs that are not being fulfilled, their loyalty is going to decrease. And when they have low loyalty, basically the vampire isn't really gonna follow your orders. They're not gonna work, basically. They might run away, they're just not gonna work. They're like protesting or on strike or something. And that's not ideal, because if they're not producing, then like nothing is happening, right? So you need to keep them loyal. In order to keep them loyal, you have to fill their needs, which is very simple. Honestly, all they really need, at least right now, they might have more needs in the future as the game updates and there's more content. But really, all they need is like a coffin that is protected, that's not going to be exposed to the sun or anything like that. So you have that, and then just make sure that your core is being filled, so they have food, and that's it. That's all you got to do to keep them happy right now. So that's pretty easy, right? So just keep them loyal, and they will keep producing items for you. But that is how you assign vampires effectively, I would say, in Vampires Bloodlord Rising. So if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.